welcome to Asasiba, a podcast that honors oral tradition and shines light on Ghanaian culture and stories that are often untold or silenced. I'm your host, Michelle. I wanted to do this minisode of Asasiba just to introduce the podcast and tell you a bit about my inspiration with creating this podcast and just a little bit about myself and all of that fun stuff. Asasiba is a seasonal show. So we're currently in season one, and I created this podcast. Okay, before I tell you why I created it, Asasiba, that is tree for Earth's child. And I was inspired by two things for the name of the podcast. So, number one is Asasiya, who in traditional Akan spirituality is Mother Earth. So, just an ode to that. And also, the second thing, Asasiba literally means Earth's child. And I wanted to, with this podcast, the goal is to amplify the voices of us, Earth's children, and just to um, show our stories, our experiences, our culture as Ghanaians, and all of that. So there's a little context to that. And with this, I'm really trying to honor our traditional Ghanaian way of storytelling, which is oral through the oral tradition. I wanted to find a way to merge our Ghanaian way of passing information with, today modern day technology and podcasting, which is what I really love. I love podcasts and I'm an avid listener and all of that. So I wanted to merge those two things, I guess, storytelling, oral tradition with podcasts and that's why and how I created Asasiba and how that came to be. And the goal of this podcast really is to tell the stories and amplify the voices of Ghanaians. And I wanted to, in particular, really shine light on stories that are often untold or silenced or ignored or dismissed. We all come in various identities and we all have different experiences, and no one is more important than others, and we all deserve to be heard. We all deserve to be seen. Our voices deserve that platform, right? So I wanted to really showcase the nuances of Ghanaian folks and just us, and our many intersections. Yeah, so I'm going on about what this podcast is about, and you don't know too much about me. So, just a little blurb about myself. Michelle, again, that's my name. And I have a passion for storytelling, self reflection, creativity, and, futurism. I'm really into Afrofuturism. So, and I'm also into preserving and exploring my Ghanaian culture and history. So even in doing this podcast, I'm learning more about my history, my culture, and all of that. So it's been really, really rewarding doing this podcast and just being part of the creative folks that are, putting our stories out there and stuff. So this is such a rewarding experience for me. To join in on the conversation, use the hashtag ASASEBAPod. So ASASEBA pod, POD. You can also follow the podcast page at ASASEBAPod on Twitter. Just so you can show me that you're listening and, I want the conversations to continue respectfully, of course. And yeah, so if you also have any questions or feedback, email asasabapod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm so excited that this is out now. This has been months in the making. The idea has been way longer than that. And I know I always wanted to create like a podcast. And I also wanted to just really talk about Ghanaian culture and history. And I'm so glad that the idea of illuminating and highlighting our stories came to me through the idea of a podcast. So super, super, super excited. And I will catch you in the next episode. See ya. Bye.